to the Getty House, the official home of LA Mayor Karen Bass.
And the mayor and her family were there home during the break-in. Rachel Menitoff is live in Windsor Square, where she spoke with some of the neighbors. Rachel.
Rick, Karine, good evening to you both. We just got word from LAPD. The suspect has been identified as 29-year-old Ephraim Matthew Hunter from Los Angeles. He's been booked for burglary. Sources tell me the mayor is focused on her budget, which she's releasing tomorrow, and she's in for the night. As it happens, though, this isn't the first time she's had to deal with intruders. A person broke into Mayor Bass's Windsor Square home on South Irving Boulevard just before 7 o'clock Sunday morning, sparking a large response from the ground and the sky.
I knew something was going on because they weren't police helicopters, they were news helicopters. So I was trying to figure out if it was something at the mayor's, seemed to be the focus of the pattern I saw them flying.
It appears as though Bass and her family were home at the time, but were not injured. The intruder was quickly taken into custody. Bass moved into the historic home once elected into office in 2023.
Madam Mayor.
It's been the official residence of the Los Angeles mayor since 1977. Bass was the target of another break-in while on the campaign trail in 2022. Her Baldwin Hills home was burglarized. The burglars made off with 2 firearms and were caught several days later. This intrusion came during Bass's run for mayor while she was still a member of the House of Representatives. Her office released a brief statement Sunday saying Mayor Bass's family is safe and is grateful to LAPD for responding and arresting the suspect. People like Judd and Azar Grubbs, who live in this historic neighborhood, are surprised that someone would attempt this brazen stunt.
It's got a fence, a gate all the way around. I'm sure there are cameras, and there's usually a lot of presence just in general around the house.
A shock.
See, they don't care. Cameras don't mean anything. Cameras just identify them. They don't care about being identified. Crazy, bro. Stand by for the video.
The person who did
Crazy.
it maybe wasn't very well.
YouTube, what's going on, fellas? Ladies and gentlemen, how everybody's doing? Back with a video. Man, drink some water, man. Yeah, man, I just want to drop in real quick. This is probably going to be a long one, but I went to the range yesterday, and man, I did a little, I just wanted to see what was going on with the MCK Kit, and so I was like, man, I wonder how accurate this thing is up against the Glock 34. So I had put my Glock 19 up in here. And by the way, YouTube, I'm in a safe control environment. All the weapons you see are clear, no ammunition. This is an empty magazine. There's nothing in there. Yeah, safe direction. But yeah, so I want to see, because this Glock 34, this is my most accurate. I mean, they're all accurate. I shoot this the best, but accuracy, and I think a lot has to do with the full size grip and the long slide, and all the and Glock internals are all upgraded, trigger and everything. So that's part of it, though. But the longer the slide, the better I shoot. I don't know about you guys. I don't shoot the micro compacts that well, but the longer the slide, the better I shoot. So I decided to see, like, man, like, now how well would this hold up against this? Because, oh, by the way, man, let me let y'all know this this little rig I just, y'all saw me build this with the belt. Now this is not with belt loops, because I'm about to go downstairs into the pool. But yeah, man, this is fun. So I shot this too, and I wore just basic basic shorts. Not this. I wasn't dressed like this, but I had shorts on. Went to my buddy's outdoor range and shot the Glock 19. Yeah, man. So I shot the Glock 19 out of this configuration, this little holster setup, and it worked fine. I mean, this is a really smooth setup right here when you don't want to bring a whole lot of stuff, to the range, and you're just gonna be doing some basic, target shooting. So this worked real well, and I already had the belt, like I said, and just had to order the plate, and I already had that, and I already had a leg strap. So this is awesome, man. Everybody should just have one of these set up, like a belt with an outside waistband holster set up already. Like, just have it already ran through. So if you ever have to go, you'd be already set up. But anyway, let me go ahead and put this up in here. I don't know if YouTube like doing this, but it's a clear weapon though. Oh, snap caps, semi-clear. So now it's clear. The snap caps, dummy rounds. I use snap caps all the time, so I always have an extra mag laying around. But I need to get some more though, because I just realized I only have 5 snap caps per caliber. I think I need more. I would like to have more than 9, but yeah, clear weapon. So yeah, so I was like, man, let me see how this thing run, and I'll get to why I did this video. So I was just thinking, like, if you can't afford an AR pistol or anything like that, or let's just say your state is restricted in, right? You can just buy one of these and put a pistol in it, and you ain't got to worry. Why is this thing always difficult when you like doing a video? Yeah, so you can just buy one of these, and you'll be just fine. Yep. So yeah, I shot it up in this configuration and went up against the Glock 19 and against the 34, and it went well, man. Stand by 1 second. My dog's bothering me. 1 second. Okay, guys, I'm back. Like I was saying, man, when I shot him, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like if you're in a restricted state, you can't have a ARP, or you don't want an SBR or something, but you want to have something small and compact where you could maneuver around like a truck gun or something like that. Man, this is a viable option, man. I know a lot of people don't like this and say it's kind of trash, And if you're in a free state, you can get the 32 rounds. You got your thumb rest, you got a light right here, you got your flip up sights, and you got you can put a little red dot on there, whatever you want. I've seen guys put EOTechs on these things, but yeah, man. So I was really impressed, man. So to make a long story short, I shot this and I went head to head, both 9mm, and I was like, man, I wonder how accurate I could be. So with this one, I'm super accurate. But and we started off at like 9 yards, 15. I think that one plate he had was 25, and it was hitting all. It was steel too, so we were hitting steel with all that. This did really good. But then we went down to the other side of his range, where you can go, I think 75 to 100. This was hitting at 100. That I hit a couple times, but it wasn't as accurate. It's a huge, big ass barrel, and I was ting 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 with this thing, man. It was this. You can go down to 100 with this. I was really impressed. 75 was a little better, but 50 and in, man, this thing was all over it, man. And I think because you gotta give Mikey, the dude who started CAA, I get what he was getting at. It's practical as hell, because like you can basically have your pistol on your hip and then have this in your car or whatever, and you can slap this in here and then you got that maneuverability. This could be home defense too, in my opinion. Foldable stock, this could be home defense. You can put different calibers in here too, 40 cal, all kind of stuff up in here. So it's pretty accurate, man. And someone's wondering why it's accurate, because you got 3 points of contact, 1, 2, 3. So you got 3 points of contact, so that's going to give you much stable shots, off top. Whereas this, you're just holding it like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the good part about that. There's probably a few cons to it. I'm not saying this is a better option than a AR pistol, 9mm pistol caliber carbine, or I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying it's better than a, ARP, all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying, for people who live in restricted states, or even if you don't live in a restricted state, if you just wanted something to, train with, get used to, a maneuverability, or, like I said, this would be an awesome home defense if you didn't have an ARP or PCC, pistol caliber carbine. Yeah, this could be a good option. And like I said, you want to worry about capacity, because they take all the Glock mags, so you can get 32 round sticks. Boom, boom. That's 64 rounds in this little tiny ass compact, in this little bitty ass package right here. I mean, that's pretty small, man. You know, when you think about that, that's a pretty small package to have so much versatility and ammunition. Whereas a pistol, you know, again, we're not talking about self-defense because you don't need to go down range more than 10 yards in a self-defense situation, but home defense, it will work great. And more importantly, it's fun at the range. Now, I will keep it real with you. He has the Kel-Tec Sub 2000. He has it all decked out. Man, I like that thing. I shot that, and we had kind of went head to head with that in the Sub 2000. And I'm not going to front, man. The Sub 2000 did really well. I'm not going to front. He's a little bit better shooter than me, I guess. I don't know, but he was hitting 100 with the Sub 2000, like right in the red. You know, I was hitting it pretty decently, but I was kind of on the outside of it, a couple in the middle. And I had good groupings, but he was just like pow, 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 pow. And I shot this. I was the first time I shot the Kel-Tec. Oh, it was the second time, but it was the first time I shot it outdoors. The Kel-Tec Sub 2000, and I was pretty impressed. So now I think I'm gonna go get me one. Yeah, I got to get one, man. That Kel-Tec Sub 2000, I was stunned, man, because when it first came out, I was like, it was during COVID. I don't know about it first came out, but when I first got wind of it, it was during COVID, and I didn't really, I didn't really like the fact that I guess it folds like this, so you open like that. But now when I think about it, that's pretty cool because it makes it subcompact. And he has an optic on his, but he takes it off when he travels with it. He said because it won't, you can't have an optic and fold it like that. So he said he said there's a newer model or M&P made one. He said that it's kind of a take on the Sub 2000, but the only difference is on the M&P it folds like this, so you can put an optic on it. Well, you can put an optic on either one, but you can just store it like this versus the Kel-Tec Sub 2000, the original one. You would have to take your optic off to close it. And so, yeah, so he's going to get that one, he said. But for the most part, man, this is a really nice option, and it holds several different calibers and different brands, and they make them for all kind of guns now. Canik and Taurus, a little live collapse there. Canik and Taurus and all that kind of stuff. Watch out, pup. And so you'll be shocked how many Kel-Tecs you can, how many different calibers you can run inside of a Kel-Tec. I mean, inside of this micro subcompact here. Micro conversion kit. You'll be surprised how many different firearms fit in here in different calibers. So I just want to bring that up, man. Like this is definitely a viable option, bro. I mean, this is pretty neat right here when you think about it. Like I said, I keep saying restricted state, but I don't know. I think even if you're not a restricted state, it'd be something like a nice little fun toy to have. Like I said, if you're traveling around and you can have your pistol on you like this, and then you can have this in your car, and it's not a firearm. Clearly, it's not. It's just basically a chassis, a stabilizing kit. So yeah, I think that'll be pretty neat. And they got the new ones out now too, with different stocks and all kind of different bells and whistles on it. But this was the one I got during the COVID. I got the thumb rest and all of it. I kitted it all out with a sling and all that. So yeah, man, it did well. The Glock 34 is still king though. I can still just go, one hand, two hands, whatever. I mean, this is a badass gun, dude. If you ain't never shot a 34, let me know, man. Go shoot a 34. Tell me what you think about it. It's a freaking badass gun, dude. A lot of dudes is like, man, I like that. They shot it, empty mag. So it's still my favorite as far as shooting. I guess I get into a competition this summer. It probably won't happen this summer because I got to go to New Orleans. My daughter starts school and all that, college. But man, that's crazy, man. But yeah, dude, it's a good option. And like I said, you saw the intro, home invasions, and the mayor in LA got robbed, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's just crazy to me, man. Just like, I don't know why people, what's amazing to me, all the video testimony, all the information, people telling their stories about how they've been robbed and people have been, emmed, taken out, deleted, whatever YouTube like to say it, how they like to say it. With all that information of people being deleted and, life shortened for no reason other than a criminal with a gun, I still find it amazing that people are anti-gun. I was talking to a guy, my daughter had a senior night the other day. I'm rambling on the story now, but it was senior night the other night, Friday night. And this guy, we were talking out in center field. I coached this kid for a few years. She's younger than my daughter. She's like, I think a sophomore, going to be a junior next year. Something like that. I don't know, sophomore, whatever. But a good friend of mine, and we were talking, and somehow like he brought up guns. I didn't bring it up. I never really bring up guns in conversation with people I don't really know if they are 2A, pro 2A, or pro gun. I don't bring that conversation up. But so he brought it up. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then make a long story short, he got to the point, he told me, he said, I don't think nobody should have machine guns. He said machine guns, and he said, yeah, you shouldn't have no machine gun. I said, you mean an AR-15 or a rifle or something like that? He's like, yeah, that. They don't, regular civilians don't need that. That's for the military and law enforcement. I said, yeah, I feel you on that. They should have it. I said, what about, the bad guys? They don't really follow rules, man. I'm going to call him Chuck for now, but that ain't his name. But I was like, damn, Chuck, but the bad guys don't go to DOJ and get fingerprinted background and all that kind of stuff. So, so the as a homeowner, property owner, a family man, a person yourself, you should be able to have whatever they can get their hands on illegally. You should be able to get it legally. And he was not trying to hear it, man. And so I just let it go. He said, well, you ain't going to convince me on this argument. I said, it ain't no argument. I said, you brought it up. I was just, letting you know my opinion on it a little bit. And, I didn't really tell him that, you should have an AR-15, but I was just letting him know that I don't get that part. And then I just walked away, and that was pretty much it. And so that was the first incident happened senior night. And then the other incident was when a really good friend of mine, if I said his name, if you guys are into hockey, NHL, if I said his name, you guys would know who he is. And so he played in the NHL. He was a really good player, and he works for NBC. I mean, you guys would know who he is. But he lives in San Diego. So where we live, man, there's a lot of famous athletes and people live out in Point Loma. A lot of the Padres live there. Back in the day, I heard all the Chargers lived out here. A lot of the Chargers, Jake, So it's a lot of Kawhi Leonard's from down here, not in Point Loma, but he's from Rancho San Diego. But a lot of it's a really high. I ain't gonna lie, it's a really expensive place to live. San Diego, Point Loma. If you look it up, it's it's very nice. So if I said his name, I ain't gonna say it, but I can speak on him because a lot of my people that I hang out with in Point Loma, they don't go on YouTube and watch gun videos, so they don't even know. But yeah, man, he was drunk as fuck, man, and he I was talking to another parent. That we all friends. And I was like, man, I said, what's up? I'm gonna say his name is Salvador, just and he's not Latino. That's why I made him Salvador. I said, man, Salvador, man, you remember when you went to this tournament up in Palmdale way back when they were 8, 9 years old? And he was like, yeah, you need to watch your mouth. I was like, what? I said, what are you talking about, watch my mouth? And he went all off and said, man, I'll lay you out right here with all these people and shit. And little did he know, I was packing, right? Even in a softball game, I was packing. And he was like, I'm going to lay you out, all that stuff. And I was like, man, you crazy, Salvador, man. What's wrong with you, bro? And he was like, nah. And he was like, get out of my face. I said, well, you actually walked in my face. And then he was like, man. I said, whatever, Salvador, I'm out of here, man. And so I told the other dude, let's call him Dale, but that ain't his name. I said, Dale, I'm out of here, man. He said, all right, Brown, man. And then, so the game was over. That was at the end of the game, after the ceremony, all that. And then I'm parked outside right by the stadium. Got the trunk open and getting ready. My kid get up, put her bag in, and he comes over like, oh, Brown, man, I'm sorry, man. He's like full tears, everything, bro. Tears running down his face. He's all like, oh, man, I'm sorry, man. He hugging me and stuff, just feeling like fucking beer and stuff. I'm like, man, dude, it's cool, bro. I said, you just went off, bro. I don't know what's your problem. He was like, man, I feel like a jackass, man. I shouldn't. What was I thinking? He said, I was tripping, man. I was like, I don't know. I said, you sound like you had too much to drink. He said, I am. I'm pretty shit-faced right now. I said, maybe you should just go home, man. And then right after that, his wife walked up, gave my wife a big hug. They didn't know none of this shit. And he looked at me like I'm about to say something. I was like, man, I ain't saying nothing. Go ahead, man. So he grabbed like all the stuff because his wife was in charge of the banquet of all the decorations and stuff at the field. And I just thought to myself, like, man, I'm a cool, calm, collected guy. And I think I said this on T Electric's channel the night it happened because he was talking about some stuff and I was telling him how this happened. And I was packing it. But one thing I was sober. I was packing. This dude was drunk and he was in my face and he threatened me. Said he would lay me out. That's a threat. And in some states, I probably could have shot him. But I remained calm and cool, collected. I knew he was drunk out of character as I knew who he was. Maybe if I'd have reacted a little different, I didn't know him and he'd approached me like that. But I just took it as water under the bridge and he's being a clown. And it turns out he even said he was a clown. And the rest is history. So Yeah, man, I evaded that little situation, handled it like cool. And that's where I was going. When you own firearms and you own guns and you conceal carry, man, you got to keep your cool, bro, because people will test you and they don't know you got a gun, and rightfully so. But you got to keep your cool, man, because you don't want to make a quick, hasty decision that can cost you your life over words. You know, he didn't put his hands on me, you know, this, that, and the other. He didn't say anything bad about me. He was just drunk, being belligerent, saying, you know, I'll lay you out, a little verbal threat. But thought I handled it well, man. And that's part of the responsibility of owning your firearms, is that you can't let people push buttons on you, man, because, you know, more than likely, you know, the climate, the way they treat civilians when in shootings, you know, they're gonna find you guilty somehow, man. So unless they actually have a gun put in your face and all that kind of stuff, you can't just react like oh, I'll pull my gun out, back up, motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't do that shit, man. So I just want to share that story, man. And so anybody watching this, like, understand, you get into the concealed carry world, don't be a hothead, and don't be thinking that you can just pop somebody because they say something you don't like. You know, that ain't gonna get it done, man. You're like, that's not enough. And, you know, plus I knew the guy too. So, and that's another part I want to drop. I know it's going to be a long video. I don't give a shit. But one thing I want to touch on upon that, I was looking at some FBI crime statistics and stuff with firearms. I mean, it's really kind of, it was eye opening, man. Like, did you know most people who get violated or get killed, deleted with firearms, or get assaulted with firearms, they knew the person. They knew the person. They knew the person. They knew the person. They had an encounter with the person, know something about the person. Other than just random carjackings and home invasions, for the most part, people shoot people they know. And then it got even more disturbing when I started looking at how many people have been deleted by firearms by their family members. Man, it's disturbing. So that's why I keep my guns locked up pretty good. I'm about to say I don't trust my wife and my kids, all that stuff, but if they got friends coming over and stuff, I keep shit way out of the way, locked up. And you shouldn't be in my area anyway. But even if you got into my area, you wouldn't be able to get to my guns unless you had pried it open and all that kind of stuff. You wouldn't be able to get to them. But I just thought that was interesting because I don't have a lot of people living with me. So if you got a big household with a lot of teenage kids or young adults, you're helping a cousin out, or you're helping a nephew out, or even helping your own son out, I wouldn't, you know, and you already have like disciplinary problems with him, or you know, he's already made a few dumb decisions in his life already, and he or she is back at your home for a second or third go around. Yeah, that's a prime candidate to not let that person be around your guns. Particularly if you have family members that already had criminal elements. Like if you had a relative that's already been arrested for robbing a bank or carjacking or doing anything violent with a gun or something like that, yeah, I wouldn't let them live with you, first of all, and I wouldn't let them be around your firearms or even know you got a firearm, because those are the people that would probably steal your firearm, use it in a heinous crime, and then it come back on you. So just keep that in mind. You know, we love our family members and we love all our friends and stuff, and we trust our kids, but when it comes to these firearms, you really only can trust yourself with these things, because you are the person that own them, and you're the responsible adult, hopefully. And you just can't put a lot of trust, even with his blood, with these firearms. Otherwise, they should have their own. And that's the way I look at it. They got their own guns, that's one thing. But if they stay in with you or something like that and they don't got a gun, they shouldn't be around your guns, man. I mean, if you want to take them to the range and stuff, that's your choice. But I would separate those two elements until they get back on their feet. And then you can say, hey, you want to go to the range. But other than that, just be careful, man. Those FBI crime statistics are really, man, they're crazy, bro. Like, people killing each other they know, husbands deleting their wives, wives getting their husbands deleted. I saw a Dateline where a fool set up his wife to get murdered, and I saw one where a woman set the dude up. And these are real stories. That's what's scary about it. I mean, I wouldn't even be talking about this shit if it was make-believe. This is shit that really happens. But I'm gonna let you go. It's getting a little long, but whatever, man. But I hope anybody enjoyed this video. But if you're on the fence for the MCK kit or the Kel-Tec Sub 2000, I'll say get off the fence. They're excellent options for pistol caliber carbines. I'm definitely going to be getting the Kel-Tec after seeing how that thing performed. He told me there's a couple little upgrades you got to do to tweak it, but they're not expensive. Something in the trigger or something like that. I don't know what it was he did. He said he did a couple things and it makes it run better. But that's a badass little piece, man. That little Kel-Tec Sub 3, and that thing folds out, man. You can't miss nothing with that thing. And I think because it's so long, it's probably about this long, really. And I think the reason why it's so accurate because it's so long and it's only shooting 9mm. So that thing ain't got no recoil. It's like, You can shoot this with one hand too. So let me know what you guys think about this video, man. This did win on the distance. This hung, but again, when you got 3 points of contact, you're gonna probably always get a better shot, more accurate shot. But two great pistols. I mean, setups for distance competition or just plinking at the range. This could be home defense, truck gun, but it did well, man. Let me know what you guys think in the video. Drop some comments if you got this, or if you got the Kel-Tec Sub 2000. Do you agree? I thought I was super accurate. It was very fun. Ran through a bunch of ammo with this and that because it's just so fun to shoot. So let me know what you guys think, man. And get your hands on one of these 34 and take it out to the range. And you'll know what I'm saying why I talk about this gun a lot. All right, man. It's your boy Eyes and Ears Tactical, man. Everybody stay blessed. Peace.